Hey, are you ready to create?
Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone is having a great day so far. We have entered, we have entered the domain of Forex greatness today. We're entered the domain of Forex greatness. Looks like gold had a little tumble over here, and we're going to try to figure out why was this the case. But before we do that, we have to take a look at the Forex factory analysis and the pre-market analysis. So when we look at the pre-market analysis, we go over here, we see that, oh, we're actually up by 88 points. This doesn't really mean anything. So we're going to go back to the Forex factory. We're going to see if there's any news. Probably, oh, we got USD CPI later on. That's going to really, really move the markets here today. We got CPI news coming in pretty soon. Let's take a look at GJ. GJ has really reached the full potential on the daily candle that it had to reach. It had to fill this wick. We did fill this wick, tapped into a support. Um, Looking on the 4 hour, it is really a support that we've tapped into. Let's take a look at the 1 hour over here. 1 hour created a resistance, 1 hour created a support. So I guess GJ is just ranging right now. If we break the support, there's a very high chance we're going to continue down towards, I would say, 134. 134 would be a good target. And let's bring this all the way over here. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's take a look at this chart here. This is same setup as yesterday, price in a range, waiting for candles to give a clear break information. Entry, sell entry at break of this low, buy entry at a break of this high, bullish target, bearish target. This is an example of a perfect labeled chart. You know, like you can't get any perfect than this. Like you have 15-minute, even though if you go to 30-minute, 30-minute would be much better, but 15-minute still good. So basically what we have here is the most recent resistance, the most recent support. What's the target if we break up? What's the target if we break down? That's it. Simple. You know, so and if you get confirmations of breaking down, chances of price coming down here is much higher than not. You know, so even if it doesn't work, then that's just a minor probability that it decided not to work. Okay, let's take a look at this next chart here. This next chart is saying price go down, then price go up. Arrow pointing down, arrow pointing up. Beautiful. Beautiful chart with no labeling. Makes sense, makes sense. Who should I contact to resolve this? Um, oh, Mr. Daoud, I think you need to email. I will send the email over here. Yeah, that's where you need to send the email because usually they're sent pretty quick. So far we're just ranging here now. Beautiful. Everyone get ready to get scammed today. I guess we should all put our seatbelts on, our happy faces on, poker faces too, because you know the markets can see you through your cameras. So you gotta have a poker face on. Don't let the market know you're in a position or you're in a drawdown because the market's gonna sense that and it's gonna try to come after you. Imagine someone thinks that really happens. Damn, that'd be crazy. All right, so what I'm basically looking for right now, we're in this range, right? GJ is in a range. This is a 25 pip range. I want price to break below this area right here or break above this area over here. That's it. Once we break up or below these areas, I think we can have a nice trade going up. I mean, if we break above 134, 450, we have a 20 pip range. If we break below, we have another pip range. So I think it's going to be pretty good. We got CPI news here too later on. So I think that's going to really move price. The CPI news, man, it's going to really move price here. They're expecting good numbers, so we'll see what happens. It's consumer price index, so we'll see how that plays out. I think gold is going to continue retracing here on the daily. It's just kind of like retracing after tapping into 1815. Um, the gold spreads are still high, man. They're still pretty up over there. So far it's reacting to this highly contagious consolidation area. You look here to the left, you see this all this contagious consolidation area. This is what it's called. It's called the contagious consolidation area. When you have a bunch of candles forming together, we call this the contagious consolidation. It's a new word. Um, did you say GDB? Did you say GDB from UK? I'm not sure what GDB is from UK. David Ryan, Tati. I'm not sure if David Ryan knows the meaning of Tati, but I think he does, apparently. Could you have a look in these two charts? Let's take a look here. Are we getting Forex Tips 101 on Friday? Yes. Our guest for Friday is going to be these guys. These guys are going to be our guests on Friday. Forex Tips coming at you straight on Friday. Ooh, nice, 15 new followers. Okay, let's take a look at this chart here. This is Euro USD 30-minute, waiting for sells here, waiting for retest. Oh, I think this was your confirmation to selling right here. This candle right there. That was your confirmation because that candle broke the low of the previous candle and left a wick as well. But the beautiful part is it basically created a high over here. So I mean, if you miss this sell, you can probably wait to create like a support for price to continue up to retest the high. I think that's going to be a good idea. US 30, we just have it in a range right now. Ranging, GJ, ranging. So right now GJ is ranging, right? So what we can see is that this is the pre-New York. During pre-New York volume, price is just ranging. So I guess the next time of volume is going to be New York Open, you know, maybe in like an hour and a half. So probably gonna get some volume by that time too. So it's best to just wait. Let's take a look at this chart here. This is GJ 30-minute. Overall bias is very bearish. I agree. Taking in consideration daily and a 4-hour, expect to move back to. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if we do create some sort of resistance, then yes, we can continue moving down. It's going to be good. This is looking for buy scams above here. Would I look for sell scams here or here? See, that's an issue. I would look for the selling scam to be down over here, below 134.200. I think 134.200 is a nice even number, and I think we also we created like a support over here. But I guess if I can get a 1-hour candle closing below this area, let's say below like 134.300, then looking on the 30-minute, I might look to enter sells because essentially on a 30-minute, it's closing above this support, but on a 1 hour, it's closing below these 1 hour candle closes. Like, so, well, yeah, probably gonna keep that in mind and see what happens. You taking any trade today? Yes, just waiting. Let's take a look at your JPY. Ooh, your JPY is bullish. Really, really bullish. Wow, look at that. I think your JPY can come up to this daily wick we mapped out yesterday. 122, 122, 120. This wick here to the left hand side. How far is that? That's around 15, 16 pips away. Yeah, I think price can get there. 15, 16 pips away. I think that's a good possibility. Like if you're looking at the 30-minute candles and you're seeing that they're making these higher lows over here, so this makes sense. You want candles to keep on making higher highs here as well. You want this to push up as well. Because if it starts pushing down, it may start consolidating here for a push up later on, or it may start consolidating to push down. So you'll have to keep that in mind. But I guess like as long as it's making higher lows and higher highs, it should continue moving bullish. Do I have a bullish bias on GJ? No, right now it's just ranging. I mean, the trend is bearish. We're moving down, but it's just ranging right now. The 4-hour candle seems like it can pull up to go bullish a little bit. I mean, who knows? I think the only reason it's going to go bullish is if this candle breaks the high of the previous one and we break above, 134, 450. Sir Raja, can you tell us how did you get lose in Asia season? Maybe I can learn from it. Asian season loss was just, when was it? It was somewhere. Oh yeah, I was right here. I got caught in the retracement right here. So I sold somewhere over here in the anticipation price is going to drop, but it went way up. It went higher than I expected. So I got stopped out and then I re-entered once we were starting to break these lows, and I caught this move down, and then I guess like the runners got stopped out. I guess I did a retest here later on and then continued down. So just looking at price right now, looking to see if we do come up above 134, 450 to continue moving bullish. I think this will be a good move. If it comes up above 134, 450, you get a move up till like 134, 630. I think it's going to be pretty good. Could be some sort of an impulse entry to continue moving bullish. Hey, good morning, Alex Mo. Hey, my bias at the moment is bearish, but in case buys, what would be the better option? Let's take a look here. Bias bearish, but in case of buys, would it be good for buys above here? I think it's going to be good for buys above here. 134, 440, 440, 450. Oh, hello there, down there. We see you. Yeah, so I think this is going to be the ultimate scam over here. Once it breaks over 134, 450, I think it's perfect. Just gotta measure. Oh, it's going to be like around a 10 pips, 10, 11 pip stop. Just gotta wait for this 15-minute candle to close here too. We got about a minute left. Hour to create a top wick. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think you're gonna get that. I think you're gonna get the 4 hour making a top wick. It's gonna continue moving up. I took my first entry right at this point, but I'm also making sure that doesn't break the previous low right over here. Right here. Also making sure that we don't break this low, because if we come down, then I'm going to be able to, like, secure, some loss right here. We're also looking at the 1 hour. 1 hour tapped above the high of the previous one, but it's also under this area over here. So I'm being very, very cautious with this. Now, this is the start of the new 15-minute candle right over here. So we're expecting this candle to continue up above 134.450 without breaking the low at 134, 347, 340. If it comes around, like, let's say 134, 390, that's the point I'm probably going to close, like, 50% of my positions right over here, around 134, 390. The US 30 is still ranging here. Stream of Call of Duty. Oh no, I don't think so. I don't think I have the facilities for that, big man. No facilities for the Call of Duty streaming. Oof, your GPY is pumping. We're coming up towards 122, 116. It was only like a 15 pip range in this one, to be honest. Do you know Controller FX? No, I don't know such names. Controller FX, etc., etc. Instead, taking trade when break is not better when broke the previous 15-minute high. Yeah, I mean that was still better, but then again, the problem was that it wasn't breaking the high of the 1 hour. That was the issue, because once this candle was moving up, it was breaking the 15-minute high, but at the same time, it wanted it to break the 1 hour high here as well. Which it kind of popped into it. So now looking at the 4 hour, 4 hour started like around, I think, like 2 hours ago, and it only went bearish. So once it started to come up, once it broke above the high of the 1 hour, at that point they started thinking about that. Okay, you know what? Maybe now it's going to go bullish, and the bullish move is going to be maybe a move up above 134.450. So that's why I'm really, really looking to see, like, if I can, like, close like a minor position once it comes into like around 134, 390. Because whenever you're in a trade, you're always looking to see how to decrease your downside. That's the most important thing. You're always looking to see how to decrease your downside. Because if you can control your downside, man, your upside is just going to look much bigger. Whenever you're going to win. Man, 15 lots are like $100 commission. It's like boom, $100, boom, done. $105. Do you know how in AUD at 2 p.m. London there is always a trading push? I have no idea how AUD works. I think you need to send a chart with your analysis and what you're trying to say so we all can see it. A better confirmation entry would be above 134.450. I took an impulse entry once the 1 hour candle was breaking the high. That's where I took the entry. Once price comes down towards 134.390, that's the point I'm going to close 50% of my position. because then, if it starts rejecting, it starts to come down more. There's no point in holding a drawdown, right? I mean, at least not in my head. So I think it's going to be very important to manage the trade. GA a sell. I think you need to send a chart on GA to see if it's a sell. You were saying how you wanted 15 minutes to close above to enter, or had you already entered before? I had already entered before. Like when you see this on the screen, this means I'm already in a trade. Please tell me what you think of NASDAQ. Will it sell off? I have no idea what NASDAQ is doing, Andy. I think you need to send a chart. Ooh, your JPY is also approaching target here. Pew, pew, pew. Look at that. 122, 116. All right, we're crossing above 134, 450. I think is pretty good, pretty good. We have clean candles here to the left. I think price should continue moving bullish at least till, I would say, like 134, 550. I think that's going to be pretty good. 134, 550, get 10 pips. And I think then I'm going to be done for the day. Still doing 10? No, not doing 10 lots. I increased my lot sizes. See now, at this point, if price comes back to my entry, I'm gonna close 50% of my positions. Because right now, if I'm in profits, the worst thing you can do when you're in profits is let price go back and draw down. That's the worst thing that you can do. So I'm gonna be very cautious about that. Your goal to trade with 100 lots in a couple of years, yeah, we'll see what happens. Could you take a look at this chart? Let's take a look here. This is USDJPY, TP over here. Yeah, I think it's good. I think now you just need to manage the trade, right? Yeah, you just need to manage the trade here a little bit and you're good to go. Oh, it looks like we're moving up over here. We're reaching 134,500. Pretty good, pretty good. I think if the last 5 minutes of this hour close we can push up, I think that's going to be much better. I missed trades all morning. My trade session waiting for candle to close. Oh, that's fine. If you're missing trades, I think you need to be looking to see how you could have caught the move. I mean, it's not hard. It's very simple. Okay, so slowly it's coming back down to my entry. If it comes back down to my entry, I'm going to close 50%. Because then it might go lower, and if it goes lower than my entry and I keep my full position, I think I'm going to play myself at that point. So it's better not to play yourself, right? How far do you think simulations would take someone? I think simulations can take you beyond your wildest imaginations. So, simulations are pretty good. Ooh, we're coming down to the entry over here. Okay. We're coming down to my entry. Tighten my stops till like 134, 380. If it comes down to the entry, I'm gonna close 50% right here. Because you gotta be safe, man. You gotta be safe in these wild markets. You can't you can't let the markets take advantage of you, trust me. Sorry, is GJ going up, down? Yes, it's going up, down. If you have to add positions on this trade, how would you do that right now on GJ? I think the best way to do that would be once this 30-minute candle is closing above 134, 450. I think with the retracement of the next 30-minute candle, and it shouldn't break the low of the previous 15-minute candle, and then you could possibly add a position for it to continue going up. Why don't you grab 5 pips and then let it get to your entry? No, because that's not a part of my plan. Have to stick to the plan. Sometimes the plan fails, but most times the plan plays out. Plan plays out to the T most times, so you gotta trust the plan. It's a good rule to add another position. I was forgetting dynamic risk. Oh yes. All right, so at this point, I closed 50% of my position at this point right over here because the candle is about to close in 3 minutes and I don't want to let my whole position run, because what if it comes down in like a drawdown, then I'm going to be, letting the whole thing go in a drawdown? No, man. What if it closes below 134, 450, and then price just starts to go down? Then what? So I got to be very, very safe and very, very cautious. That's why I closed 50% of my position right over here. Got to keep the losses small if the losses do come. Just opened the stream and we're in the same trade. Oh, nice. Looks like we're going to lose at the same time too. Ooh, your JPY reached target. Should have just taken the Euro JPY trade. EJ pumping up. Yeah, EJ's pretty bullish. So see, right now we're coming down. We're coming downtown. 134, 450. It needs to close above it. It doesn't need to close above it. Oh, below it. See this 30-minute candle? If it closes below 134, 450, then the buying idea is gone. Then there's no buying idea. So, if someone caught this Euro JPY buy, man, amazing. You did well today. You did well, and Raja Banks got scammed today. um, all right, looks like we're still in the money over here. We're still working away. Closed everything up 5% for the day. Gonna head up, running out of. Oh, nice, man. Nice, up 5%. Very good. Wow, your JPY is running a train. A little frustrated, waiting for that Euro JPY and missed it. Well, I think you should be excited instead of being frustrated. I think you should be excited because you knew what's gonna happen, but the only thing is you missed it, But you knew what's gonna happen, so that means you were correct. So, if you're excited about this, I think you should now look at this and say, okay, how could I have entered this trade? Because, man, I think you should be excited because this is going to happen over and over again. Whenever I miss a trade, I now don't look at it and say, oh man, I missed it. I'm excited because I know if I can understand how could I have taken this trade, This is going to happen 1,000 more times, and I have the ability to maybe cash that trade 1,000 more times. So, man, you should be excited if you're missing trades, especially when you're understanding how could you have entered the trade. Especially like a missed trade or like a lost trade. So there's not much excitement here around anymore. It's all about, oh man, I want to make this much money. I want to pay off this debt, or I want to get this, I want to get that. No, you should start focusing on how could you have taken a specific trade. Because once you start taking specific trades, then you start making money, and then you start getting the things you wanted. But before that, no, man, like dreams and dreams, trust me, everyone has dreams, and it's okay to dream. But not all dreams come true. So perfect. 30-minute candle closed above 134.450. One of my position is still inside, and I think we should continue moving bullish towards 134, 550, because now we're closing above this range. A lot of people aren't truly passionate with Forex, I think. I think so too. So if you're looking to add, like, let's say another entry, I would say that whatever entry you have running over here, reduce the risk by 50% or by 75%, and then take a second entry, but your stop is going to be below the previous 15-minute candle. Taking second entries is risky. That's why you're really, really lowering your risk. Because maybe you haven't done this before, so it's really important to really lower the risk and know exactly where you're going to place the stop. Because now this is the breakout candle. This candle has broken inside this range, so it should continue moving bullish towards whatever the target was. Well, essentially like 134, I would say 134.600, but I think around 10 pips at 134, 540, 550 would still be good. Man, if you guys do yoga in the morning, god damn, so nice. Opens up your body real quick. Look at that thing coming down. Let's take a look at the 1 hour now. 1 hour also closed above 134.450. 30-minute also closed above 134.450. 15-minute also closed above 134.450. See now, if it comes back down to my entry point, actually, you know what? I'm going to put my stop below the current 15-minute candle. Give it a little bit of a room. 134.400. See now, once we closed above 134.450, theoretically, it broke above in this new range. It broke above this new range. Now, theoretically, it should continue up in this new range. But if it closes back below 134.450, then this moves up, becomes a fake out. We have US30 also breaking above resistance here. But this previous candle closed with no wick at the top. Man, I've lost like maybe 80% of my US30 trades. 80%. Can't win on US30 so hard. It seems like it's gaining strength here. Pre-markets are bullish, 119 points up. So I think US30 should continue moving bullish. Yeah, I think till like...
Good morning, Raja.
Hey, good morning.
The problem with US30 is the pullbacks, man. It's 70, 100 points on pullbacks,
Yeah, like look at the pullback yesterday. just pumped down.
I know, man.
It
I
dropped.
wasn't expecting that drop.
It
From
dropped
a bullish.
with
Yeah. from a bullish daily candle turned to the bearish daily candle. It was insane. That was like 500 points.
Yeah, imagine, man, people were in buys just chilling, going about their day, and then they look, they're like, whoa, what the hell happened here? It dropped with a giant dildo in its hand, straight down. Boom. You want to hold buys on US 30? No, 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 not today. Oh, looks like GJ is turning heads right now. Yeah, US 30. Like the thing. What I've noticed about US 30 is that what I noticed about US 30 is that it's kind of like GJ where it doesn't. Oh, okay. Let me just secure 10 pips over here. All right, beautiful. Securization right over here.
Very nice.
Nice
Amazing.
call, bro.
Thank you,
Damn.
thank you. Securization. This was a great example of a stress-free trade with managed risk. I mean, just do you leave a runner? Yes. I have a runner running right now. I have it running. That runner is at the entry around 134, 469, where I took a second entry. Perfect. Well, you know, people on YouTube, if you guys took this trade at the same time I took this trade and you secured profits, you give a like on the stream because, you know, this is an example of stress-free trading, man. Stress-free scam again this morning, first thing. Yeah, now it's just going to do pullbacks and it's little jumps here and there. Wow, look at that, man. Pullback didn't even come down to my entry. It just kind of tippy-toed and went up. When GJ breaks the range, then US 30 stands a chance of moving. I think it's just coincidence that GJ and US 30 kind of like moved the same way. It's coincidence. You know, because GJ spiked up and US 30 spiked up and they did the pullback at the same time. Look at this pullback. Same time they did the pullback. I think it's just coincidence. Can you explain why you were looking for buys when all high time frames were bearish? Because we saw buys coming up in the smaller time frames. That's why we looked for buys. We didn't look for sells. I mean, if you were looking for sells, you wanted the 1 hour to go bearish. You wanted the 30 minute to go bearish, right? You wanted the 15 minute to go bearish. Everything was bullish, you know. It started from the 15 minute right over here. We started going bullish. 30 minute was bullish. I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, I think this was a very, very, very good trade. This was a perfect example of a counter trend trade. This was also a perfect example of like, you know, kind of like guiding everybody on how to add another position from the webinar we did this Saturday. I think this was everything combined in one. How to manage risk, how to add positions, how to take profits. I mean, damn, man. We're unlocking new doors over here. 134, 622. Yeah, I like that too. Man, on the 15 lot I made like only like $500 because I closed a majority of the position. So the outcome was pretty low. I don't know how you do it always. You scammed me again today. Oh, nice. Beautiful. Yeah, I think so. Let's do this here.
Raja,
Yo.
do you feel that adding, going from 10 to 15 lots on those trades are adding some kind of pressure on you?
Yeah,
Like when you
yesterday.
see the reds, uh-huh.
Yeah, yesterday, man. Yesterday thing reversed and it was a loss like 700, and that I was like, whoa, wow, 700 plus $100 commission, you know? So the
Yeah.
commissions also jumped up.
Yeah, because sometimes that happens to me too, and that's the thing with the pressure. It's if you had, let's say, and the trade you took yesterday with sales on GG, if you had instead of 15 lots had like 5 lots, I mean your stop loss above the previous 30-minute candle, which was like 15, 16 pips, it
Mm,
shouldn't be a problem for you.
yeah,
But
yeah,
15 lots, man, when you start seeing $1,000 and drag down, fuck.
yeah. That's the thing because I would never let it go past $1,000 drawdown. Never, ever. I'd let it go past that.
Well, mentally, you already know you're risking 1,500. Worst case scenario, you're risking 750 because you know that when you retrace 50% of your position, you're cutting half of it.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know. But that's the thing for me too. Like mentally, man, I can't get past 10, man, because it's the same thing. Like my risk limit is 1,000. So when I go past 10 with the commission and it starts pulling back to me, like it's it's crazy because sometimes I know that I'm mentally like, okay, let me add a cut, and then it comes back, I add it back in position again. You
Yeah.
know,
I think the easiest thing for me was that I knew that okay, like if I'm going to use like a higher lot, and if it does continue to go in the opposite way, and if it does, let's say, bring me like a drawdown, God forbid, then I know how to like close partials. I know how to take risk off. The biggest problem is like when you up your lot size. Now, normally it happens most times like when you up your lot size, the first trade with the new lot is always drawdown, and you're like, oh man, like it had to happen drawdown right now. Come on, So at this stage, at that stage, like either if you hold the whole position, that's when the stress gets to you. But I think I'm really focused on in closing partials. So so like as soon as it goes in a drawdown, I close partial. That way I'm like really reducing the risk. I'm basically taking off the stress of the position.
see, my problem is I add back when it goes back to my entry. That's my
Whoa.
problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
yeah.
That's
bad
my
problem,
Sometimes I do
man.
problem.
that.
Because then the trade's going in my favor now. I'm like, oh, I cut it and I add it back, and then I go back again. I'm like, shoot,
Yeah, so you do the opposite thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, when it goes the
But
opposite way, I used to add two, but now I just started taking some off, and once it starts to go my way, let's say if it's trying to break high, then I add more.
okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of like helping keeping my losses small. That's why you guys have to use these secret tools, magic keys. Oh, yes. What brokers are you using that would charge so high of a commission? Man, like, what really grinds my gears? When people ask me, oh, why is your commission so high? And when people don't even understand how commission works, it just blows my mind. How can someone try to trade when they don't even know how commissions work? It's so unrealistic, man. Like that whole idea about, oh, why is the commission so high? I mean, it's just so dumb. I'm sorry. I mean, if you have on one lot, your commission is $7, right? On 10 lots, it's $70. It's very normal. And then on 15, it's what, 70 plus 35, because 5 is 35. It's 105. People think commissions are the same on every lot, like 10 cents.
Simple mathematics.
Bro, this one guy messaged me. He said, how come you're paying, this was like when I was doing like fives, how come you're paying 35 lots in commission when I'm only paying like 25 cents, like 20 something? I'm like, what lot are you using? He's like, I'm using this small lot. I'm like, it doesn't stay the same, man. The commission increases.
And let's see, it's from equity side of the market. Like that's the one thing, man. I wish Forex would have just charged a flat price for everything,
Yeah, it's
but
crazy.
they don't.
Uh, are you going to take more trades today? I don't know. I'll see. I'll see what I'm going to do. Can you go over why you entered that buy when you were approaching resistance? I often miss opportunities because I see a support resistance. Yeah, so basically once this 1 hour broke the high of the previous 1 hour, I looked at the 4 hour and I'm like, okay, well, the 4 hour has only gone bearish since it formed and it hasn't really gone bullish. So it just makes sense if it starts going bullish to make a top wick. So I was like, okay, if it's going to start to make a top wick, awesome. Let's see how far it can go. So looking at the smaller time frames, kind of like made sense. Okay, if we break above 134,450, a top wick on the 4 hour may go up to like 134,600. Which is like a 15 pip range. So I was like, okay, well, it makes sense to take a buy. And then once I took the buy, the 15-minute closed in the range. So I was like, okay, perfect. Makes sense then. And then it started to go up. So this was a case of whether price will go up or go down. So once it broke the high on the 1 hour and all the underlying confluences of the small time frame candles, it kind of made sense. Mainly because the 1 hour high was broken and the 4 hour hadn't gone bullish, so I was expecting the 4 hour to go bullish, and the 15-minute closed above 134,450. So it's not just one thing. It's like a collection of all these things, different variables. Oof, US 30 came back in the range. Damn. Sell is very risky now. Yes, sell is very risky. I think sell is going to be I think sell is going to be great if you get price closing below 134,450. Can you show please how to read chart? I am a newbie. Black Mamba, I think you need to go to babypips.com. If you are new right here, I think this is a website you should start off with. Baby, baby, babypips.com. Yeah, so this is one of the best websites you can start trading with. Babypips.com. Go to how to trade, and you finish this school, and yeah, man, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be an expert by the time it's done. You're gonna be an expert on all these topics, all of them, and then you'll have to unlearn everything, and then you'll have to go back to the basics. That's what I did. I learned all of that, and then I came back to candles. Do you think US 30 can continue bullish? Well, if it goes above 26,240, I think it can continue to go bullish. But for now, I mean, see what it is? It kind of scammed everybody here. US 30 came back down. Do you have TP at 134,550? Yeah, I mean, if it gets there, it's going to be awesome. Fill this wick, and now we're in this range now. Now, if the candles keep closing bullish above 134,450, it's good to continue going bullish. Gold is just chilling over here. I think gold should create like a resistance here, but we'll see what happens because we got CPI as well. I think a new support was created in the 15-minute time frame. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. Like, I mean, if we respect this area as like a minor support, we should continue moving bullish. Could this be a break and retest to take another buy position? Yeah, sure. I think your stop is going to be below in this area here as well. Let's consult our Chinese indicator over here. Let's see if the confluence matches. And oh wow, man, it doesn't match. Look, it's saying pound is weak and yen is really weak and euro is really strong. So this means euro JPY should be continuing bullish. So we're over here. If it continues bullish, the Chinese indicator will be correct. But it's showing that the pound is not that strong. So, which is why you might see pound kind of like consolidate or move up slowly. And this thing actually doesn't work, it's just confluence. So, man, I had this one guy, he's like, I traded based on the Chinese indicator, and every trade I took, it was a losing trade. Because it's an indicator, like, you know, it's going to show you where something is after it's already done. That's the whole issue. Hey, I've started trading this month with your live stream and I've made $8 with a 3K account. Oh, nice, man. It's pretty good. Let's take a look at this chart here. Euro USD. Buy stops. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's worked out too. I think this was the same move as on Euro JPY. It's a nice labeled chart. You have zones drawn. You have this zone drawn here as well. Beautiful. I think it has more legs to go up. The only problem is you got CPI coming here soon, and they're expecting good numbers. So we'll see what happens. I mean, the expect is 0% last month. You know, now they're expecting a little higher, and I think that's going to be the first positive number in the last 3-4 months. I watched your old videos, made 800,000. Oh, nice. Beautiful. Can I please have the link to the Chinese indicator? Yeah, it's $5 per minute. Every time you $5 per minute to see the Chinese indicator. Just write Google. No, actually, don't Google Chinese indicator.
Type in Chinese indicator.
Yeah, here it is. Here you go, Gulag. My phone's rings with potential scam on call in 3 today. My fingers crossed. Yeah, I think we're going to continue moving bullish here. Ooh, US30 is coming back in the game over here. US30 is that dead soldier, you know, like who comes to life every 6-7 minutes. Let's see what the pre-markets are saying over here. Pre-markets are okay. We jumped from 88 points to 120 points. So this means as we come closer to NY Open, we should continue moving bullish, especially on GJ here as well. As we're coming close to NY Open, we should moving up and up. My screen is blurry. How do I fix it? I think you need to Google and go and search how to use YouTube. We did a demonstration yesterday how to do that. I think if you click the settings at the bottom, it will show you the quality, you know, and from the quality, you can choose which quality you want to see. If you guys have 4K screens, you can choose 4K. If you have, you know, regular screens, then I guess you can't choose 4K. You said that you unlearned everything, but what's your previous strategy with indicator? My previous strategy was EMA crosses, you know, 1450 EMAs. Yeah, 1450 EMAs. We used to do EMA pullbacks, you know, like on smaller time frames, like the 5-minute and 1-minute time frames. We do pullbacks to 14 EMAs after like big bearish runs, let's say. For example, if you're having a big bearish run on a 30-minute or 1 hour, you could possibly all the time get like a 14 EMA pullback or even the 5-minute EMA pullback. So those are pretty nice. Look at this thing over here, man. Just so beautiful. GJ just so amazing. Look at the market structure it's forming on 15 minutes. Just incredible. Respecting the low over here, moving up, coming up over here, and then potentially moving further. How can someone not know how to watch a YouTube video clearly but expect to earn dollars trading? I just don't understand this. Rizzy Ray HD, you stole the words out of my mouth. Do you have an opinion on GR30? Have you ever tried it? No, I haven't. I haven't tried GR30 ever. When should I move stop loss at break even? Because sometimes I move it too early and sometimes too late. I think there's no such thing as moving stop loss to break even too late. Because if you move it too late, I think then you're going to be in drawdown and you can't move stops to break even once you're in drawdown. But too early, I think. Well, what I do is my target is always like 10 to 12 pips, And when a position goes into like 10 to 12 pips, that's the point where I'm moving my stops to break even and I'm securing profits. I don't move the stops to break even before that. The only reason you should move in stops to break even is if you're trying to secure profits. We shouldn't tear each other down. Yes, that's true. Now it makes sense why you call this chat the gulag. Is your break even with the commission or without? It's without commission. Man, I mean, you guys chill. Just be happy that you're getting a profitable, GJ trade. It was very nice. I was pretty happy. I'm pretty happy about this trade. Even though I didn't secure what I wanted to secure, but I'm still happy. How is it possible to get an entry on this GJ move up here? I think it's possible to maybe, keep your stop below the 15-minute candle and then anticipate for the next one to continue moving bullish. Let's take a look on the 5-minute. Oh yeah, 5-minute also kind of like in this minor.
Or the break of the 30-minute candle.
Yeah. Or with the retracement on the next 15-minute candle. To continue bullish. Is it safe to trade after breaking 30-minute high of previous candle? Well, if you can manage your risk, it's safe to do anything in the world. And Euro is continuing to move up. Suggest any final advanced course for Forex, sir. Advanced Forex course. All right, let me suggest you an advanced Forex course. There we go. Jason Bond's day trading seems about right. Oh, this free training starts in a minute. I think you need to go over there, man. This is the most advanced Forex course. Yeah, perfect. I mean, define advanced. Like when we talk about advanced Forex courses, define advanced. What do you think is advanced? Wowzers, look at that move on GJ. So nice.
Hi, Raja.
Hello.
Yeah, you were talking about the Jason bond. So I would like to say something. For me, you are more advanced than the Jason bond because they just claim, they don't show anything. Like a couple of months ago, maybe 3 months ago, I started getting email from him, and I just said like, just do 3 or 4 live trades with me, so I'll be convinced. He doesn't reply any of my emails, so I don't trust him. So I guess for me, it's good to learn advanced techniques from you, who is doing live trade with me instead of Jason Bond or something else.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Jason Bond. Come on. What's this? Oh, oh, nice. Yeah, I think this just really shows like how it's really done. I think coming live on the market and doing like commentary and stuff like that, I think it it really puts trust in your own analysis too and like the way you do things. It makes much more confidence. Ooh, let's take a look at this one here. What's this? I followed my plan. $8 of 8 pips. I'm happy with the decision that took. Overall bearish. Took sells as we rejected the range. Oh, nice. Took sells after that candle closed. Price came down. Beautiful. I stopped trading after my winning sell. It's awesome. That's beautiful. And now we're coming back down. Yeah, I think this is really nice. The way you're labeling the chart over here. Solid break below 450. Formation of support 550. 30-minute chart. I think it's beautiful. Um, I think if price does kind of start rejecting this area, then you could kind of say, okay, like we're reacting to this minor support right over here. But I think if we're going to break above a higher time frame resistance area here, then we should break above a minor support area right over here too, to continue bullish. Ooh, your JPY is moving further down. We got CPI coming here soon. With the current candle closing bullish but not breaking the high, is this decreasing the chances of going up because it didn't break the high? No, not really, because the 30-minute candle has closed above, 134, 450, but the only problem is the probability of you having a winning trade in the same context over here, just as you had before, is lower. Because the only problem is now the 30-minute has went deeper into this zone, right, without doing a retest. So the more price leaves a solid area, the higher the probability of it, like retracing. That's the whole issue, because now at the same time we're entering this vicinity of like a rejection here as well, because before you can see like in pre-London we had like rejections from this price, 134, 540, 550, we had rejections here. So there's a probability the price may reject here. So that's why taking a trade here is riskier than taking a trade down over here, because maybe the rejection from here may be like a pullback on the 30-minute to then continue on further later on. That's the whole issue. So the more price leaves the zone, the higher the probability of it, kind of like retracing. Although there's potential for continuation into the next zone. Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that. And I think once this 15-minute candle breaks the high of the previous one, you could probably bring your stops up a little bit. But at the same time, yeah, I think it should continue moving bullish. All right, man, look at that. I mean, if you have positions from down here, it's perfect. But the whole idea is now, since we're in a range, let's say this is a range, right? This is a range you have. And if you have a range, it's always better to look for buys at the bottom of a range, because now you have a much higher probability of price heading up, or maybe even to like the half point, right? But if you're taking buys in, let's say, like a middle of a range, then the probability of going up, it kind of decreases, even though you have this momentum and you're into the volume time here, right? It kind of like decreases a little bit. So when you're taking entries in the middle of a range, so always make it a point to always try to see how can you take an entry at the bottom of a range as it starts to go up. At what point did you enter GJ trade? I entered GJ trade right over here at the bottom. When you show us your entry on your chart, it's the same exact number? Yeah, it's the same exact number. Same exact number.
God, these fucking questions are horrible.
God can't help you, Ted.
I know. I've been sitting here for an hour reading the questions. It's just, I think a lot of people just need to go back to school.
Yeah, I think most questions should be changed in the way, instead of saying, how do you do this, to, hey, I did this.
Yeah,
What do you think? Is this a good idea?
I think that's what it is. It's just,
Like, hey, my entry was here and now my stops are at break even. What do you think?
yeah.
Something like this.
Like your spread is 0. The spread's never 0. It's just, oh.
Ooh, I think US 30 should continue moving bullish now.
Yeah, it's gonna have a good run today, I think.
Maybe correct this move from yesterday.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of earnings reports coming out today for the banks, and obviously the second quarter with banks was very heavy in volume with the market because of the volatility. So looking at the second quarter, that was from March all the way till the end of June. So you'll find that as the earnings reports come out for the banks, there's going to be a lot of bullish movement. Like yesterday, the tech sector really pushed US 30. So today, expect a lot of the heavy banks when they start doing earnings releases. That's the other thing that you should watch for US 30. Go on to the internet and Google earnings releases and look at when all the major companies are doing releases of earnings, and that will also help you decipher where US 30 is going as well.
Okay, 14th July today.
Yeah, so you see like JP Morgan, Wells
Oh.
Fargo. So so all those companies, right, as it creates a cascade effect or a domino effect, right? Because we know US 30 is the top 30 capitalized companies, but they all sort of play off each other in terms of optimism, in terms of things happening. So as other companies they produce earnings reports, that brings a market sentiment of positivity, if it is, and that will help drive US 30. Because obviously US 30 is a futures market. Because I got reamed out the other day for not explaining myself correctly, but US 30 is the futures market of the equities market. So as the equities market gets positive data, that feeds US 30 and vice versa. So what you'll find is, with positivity in the equities market, that drives the futures market. And if there's sentiment of instability or negativity in the equities market, that also switches the futures market, right? They feed off of each other. So when you're looking for information regarding US 30, you should be looking at earnings reports. You should be looking to see what the overall sentiment of the market is to anticipate where do we believe US 30 is climbing to at that point.
I think this is now really interesting to a lot of people. Whoever trades US 30, I think this is, yeah, I'm very interested to see what's. So this is gonna happen at like 9:30.
Well, no, a lot of these reports, all earnings reports either come out before the market open or after market open. Earnings reports are never released during the market hours. So that's why you get a lot of movement pre-market and post-market afterwards.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pre-markets are also slowly climbing now.
Yeah. So you'll find that you'll have a bit of movement with US 30 like at 9:30. Like I said, I've been trading a lot of the market at 10 a.m. Eastern. I find it's a little bit easier because you have the New York Stock Exchange open, which is pumping volume. which helps provide stability for US30, which gave it that huge pump yesterday, which was an easy trade. That was led by some of the tech stocks pushing. So you just think about it logically, right? So if you have a sector of the market doing really well, investors then just start putting money essentially everywhere, for lack of better terms. Because what you're doing is there's a creation of optimism, right? So that means people want to flood the market because of the fact that now we're pulling back up. When US 30 dropped yesterday, the reason for the drop was essentially the governor of California came in, and it seems like that's what's happening. They're shutting the economy down again, right? So they're shutting down businesses and things of that nature. So that created a panic in the market on the equity side, which then changed the direction of the futures market. Just to confirm, when is before market and when is after market? Well, the New York Stock Exchange is open 9:30 to 4:30 every day. So when you trade equities, you trade them in the New York Stock Exchange. So the New York Stock Exchange is not the currency market. The currency market runs 24 hours a day. The futures market runs basically 24 hours a day. But the futures market gets affected by the equities market when the equities market is open from 9:30 to 4:30, because there's volume being pushed into the actual equities. Oh, 9 to 4, sorry. Yeah, 9 to 4. My bad. I'm used to doing all the after work until 4:30.
Democrats need to dip to get the economy get going.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think gold is setting up here for CPI. Coming up to retest 1796. Probably keep on dropping. Let's see what happens. Why a lot of people trading US30? I think from my weak judgment is because US30, I think it's shown on social media and stuff is like with US30 you can make a lot of profits, but what's not shown is like how difficult it is to trade. So I think that's like kind of like where people get enticed into something they don't know much about. Cause man, I tried US30 for 2 months. It's hard to trade. It's not easy at all. Ooh, we're getting this retracement. Yeah, I think we are kind of like rejecting that area, 134, 540. Well, we'll see if it makes like a support around here and then continues to go up or not. But if it closes back inside, then I guess it's gonna be over. I'm more conservative and don't trade lunchtime for worry over lack of liquidity and news. Yes, that's true. Trading over lunchtime, low volume, lack of liquidity, yeah, no thanks. If GJ go back to the range, it's a fake out, then we can consider sells. Well, if you haven't taken any trade, then yeah, you can, consider sells, yeah. But we'll see what happens. I blew up an account in US30. I had 8 wins out of 10 trades, but first of all, my risk management sucks, and second of all, the US30 is so hard. Yeah, it's pretty hard. Would it be more reasonable to automate your trading? Is that even possible for your style? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. You can automate. I think, well, you can, but it requires constant supervision. Like once you create an algo, it just requires constant supervision. If you look at GPJPY right now, the buys are 100% invalid because this 30-minute candle has broken the low of the previous 30-minute candle. I like sells at break of 15-minute wicks, anticipating to continue down. What do you think? Let's take a look at the 15-minute. Yeah, sure. I guess, well, since we're coming close to the New York Open, I think it'll be best to wait for this candle to close, like for this 1 hour candle to close, and for the New York Open to start. Yeah, so we'll have to wait to see how it closes. I mean, if it closes below this range, then there's a possibility that move up was a fake out, and we may continue moving down. You know, so I think the best option would be to wait for this candle to close. Can you look at USD MXN Mexican? No, I think you need to send a chart. You need to send a chart on what you think, and then we can look at that. Curvin's parrots.
Sorry. I was about to tell you the 4 hour just did something nice to retest to the upside. So yeah, sales should be nice for the rest of the next hour.
Yeah. Just gotta see where this closes.
Mm-hmm.
If this closes above 134.450, it doesn't matter if it broke the low, it's still closing above, like, let's say, a support. But if it closes below 450, then it's doing a possible continuation to downside. Yesterday London to New York, today London to New York coming down, 30-minute chart. Yeah, this makes sense. I mean, if it closes below this area, then it makes sense for it to come down to 134, and Daniel said 134, yeah, 134. Ultimate target 134.
The parrot could probably trade better than most people in the gulag. Should get the parrot to pick up or down, just like point to it, like with its beak. It'd probably do a better job overall. Like those octopuses that choose the winners of the Super Bowl and stuff like that.
Oh, really? That's still
Yeah.
that's still happening.
Yeah.
In Pakistan, what they do is there's this guy who has a parrot, and he has 6 envelopes in front of him, right? So apparently, if you go up to the guy, the parrot is going to choose an envelope, and that envelope is going to have your destiny written on it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you know. So you got 6 choices, and a bird has to make the choice. And people do it, man. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, animals know best. I'm like, no, you're dumb. What do you mean? Animals know best.
When my parrots are screaming, I'm start selling.
I think it's the parrot reader or something. Oh yeah, something like this. Like that. He's got the parrot. Okay, Mr. Parrot, tell us what the Mrs. Destiny is going to be. And the parrot goes and fills up an envelope. Here you go. Okay, Mr. Parrot, will GJ go up or down? The parrot's going to pick a card. Here you go. Oh wow, US 30 came back down in the range. Damn.
Yeah. It'll pull back a lot, I think, before 9:30. So I wouldn't. I've learned now not to trade during this time. Like if you can take small little scalps You can grab like, 5-minute candle movements here, but the bigger movements come at 10 a.m. I don't touch it anymore before 10 a.m. There's no point, because all that happens is whatever move happens now between now and 9:30 usually gets corrected at 9:30 right away. It gets pulled back, and then 10 a.m., 10:15, you actually get the heart of the movement, and that's where you can hold it for a bit. And then at like 3 o'clock Eastern, there's like crap that happens again.
Yeah, I noticed that too. There's probably not much before NYC Open.
Yeah, it's just right now, like there's opportunity, but when the pre-market data or sort of the futures outlook of how the Dow is going to open, if it's not that great, I mean, you get that range with the equity market. So at this point, you wait till 9:30, all the earnings reports are digested, and then that drives your futures market as well. Do you trade US 30 live? Well, yeah, I mean, if there's an opportunity, why not? I'm confused. I mean, I see the same thing that everybody else sees. I don't understand. As an example, I mean, it's pretty straightforward to map out US 30, right? So you can see here there's a very heavy, well, this is gold, but I mean, if we go to US 30, you can see US 30 right here. You can see this is a heavy resistance, right? You can see all the way across, but you can also see here that there's clean traffic over here, right? So you know that this area here is going to give you a little bit of trouble, but what we're looking for is once support is being held over here, that we should correct this move all the way back up. And you can see how we will correct that move. You can see there's a clean candle here, and then we get to right to this level over here. So you know that in this section of the market right here, chances are you're going to have a nice clean move all the way through. So what you're hoping for is you're hoping that this area here creates support across, and once this support is being held, you have that movement all the way up to this level right over here. So your range essentially then becomes this space here, so 335 to like 455. You have that opportunity there. So that's all you're doing, is you're just planning out your trades, and making sure that it makes sense to where there's nice big candles. I don't want to trade in this area here as an example. I don't really like this area here, because you can see how all the candles are forming. Like this is just common sense. Like why do I want to try and trade these things here, right, when I can wait for something big like this based on what I see over here? So you can see that, and this is the problem. And I said this yesterday on Instagram, is people just don't have patience. They want everything, and all it does is just gets you into trouble. Just turn around and sit back and wait. And when it breaks that level, take the trade. If it doesn't break that level, there's no trade then. It's quite simple. If you stop focusing on the money and you start focusing on trying to make correct decisions, you'll realize you'll make more money in the end. Because every time you try and take a trade that seems a little off, or that maybe doesn't fit your plan, or it looks like you're chasing, you have a higher probability of losing. And you should rather want to sit out of the market than try and take a trade just to try and make money in the market, because there's going to be days where the market moves very easily, where you have an opportunity to make a nice easy trade and you gain profit. But the problem will be, after you've done that, you've lost so many trades before that, you're just basically breaking even. You're basically trying to catch back all the money. So that one big move that you catch on a Wednesday or Thursday has just cleared out all your losses for the stupid trades you take on Sunday night, for the stupid trades you take Monday morning, for the stupid trade you tried to force on Tuesday. That Wednesday trade brought you back into profits, and you should have had even more profit, but you refused to, because you were stubborn, trying to take trades at market open on a Sunday night when there's no volume, or the market's setting up. Monday morning trying to chase something that you think is there that isn't, not managing risk properly. So you can see your patterns. I guarantee it. If you look at your best winning trades, your winning trades were so easy, they were so obvious, and you just don't want to accept that you have to wait maybe 2 or 3 days every time to take one of those big winning trades. Once you gain confidence and experience and you've been trading for 3, 4, 5 years, yeah, go ahead and try and snipe the market on 5-minute candles, and try and grab those entries on Monday to try and hold till Wednesday. But if you're starting off and you have less than 2 years experience, why are you torturing yourself by trying to grab moves every day when you can just wait for a nice big easy move with a big candle and close it and have profit without stressing over the fact that you took 5 or 6 losses 2 days before, or you broke even yesterday? Like, the amount of stress you're putting yourself under makes no sense at all. Like, it's so confusing to me.
Well said. Well said. Yeah, Roger, you muted.
Oh yeah, exactly. So this kind of is closing above 134,450. So I mean, I think then, yeah, I think we should continue moving bullish from this point because it's closing above this area over here. Is it hard to trade US 30 versus SP 500? What I've seen is SP 500, what people have told me, it moves much easier than US 30, so I don't know much about that. Do you think GG is a sell? No, I don't think GG is a sell. I mean, we got 3 minutes left. If this candle closes above 134,450, it's not a sell. Had to fight in the gulag to make it to the Zoom chat. So now you're stronger. you became mentally strong and then you got out of the gulag. What are good pairs to trade? I think any pair which you've seen enough and which you can really say, okay, so mostly people have these plethora of pairs, right? They have a lot of pairs. They have a whole stable of pairs. I think what you need to do is you need to look at all those pairs you have and really see that, okay, these 2 pairs are the best pairs I know, and then just focus on those 2 pairs. Mostly you say, oh yeah, I like GJ, I like GU, I like gold too. Sometimes I trade US 30 as well. Asian session, I can find trades in AUDJPY as well. So you need to just choose 1 or 2 pairs and just focus on that. So maybe these streams here are good in a way because it kind of like shows you like you can be profitable by just trading one pair, right? I mean, look, now we're really not closing below 134,450. See, this is why you have a high volume session opening and you don't take trades before the high volume session, especially trying to anticipate it. Because it's closing below here, it didn't close below here right before the high volume session opened. And now if you took sells over here, man, got played. I wanted the candle to close below, because if you had a candle closing below, then we could have a fake out and then with volume price can go up. How to know if the news is good or bad? Please, can you explain it for CPI? Yeah, so you don't know whether the news is going to be good or bad, but what you can anticipate is that they're anticipating good news. They're anticipating 0.5%, and with the economy slowly opening up, and like I think this should be good. So that's all we know. Let's take a look at this chart. This is Potential buy when previous high is broken. Larger stop loss close to resistance level. Yeah, I mean, if the previous high is broken, I think we can still continue moving bullish on GBJPY up to like 134.620. And then obviously the stop is going to be below the 15-minute candle, yeah. So if you think the stop is going to be bigger, then I think you need to maybe lower down the risk a little bit, right? But then you're anticipating price to break this resistance with volume in NY open and continue price towards, 134, I say like 640, 620, maybe 650. Ooh, gold is coming back inside. Let's take a look at this chart. This is, oh, what's this? God damn. Break of this support gives me smaller time frame pullback entry, but not overall. Yeah, I think you need to zoom in this area over here because we can't see anything here. Let's try to see this. Okay, we're approaching some sort of support over here on the 30-minute time frame USD CAD. 1 hour as well. This is a strong rejection area right here because price came here earlier on pre-London, kind of rejected it. So now we're coming back here again. I think maybe it's setting up for CPI because CPI is going to be a high volatile news event. So I think it's waiting for CPI or probably setting up for CPI. I bought GJ from 134.266. 134, oh, nice entry, 266. That's way down over there. This is my favorite tune right here. The YouTube, no, the Zoom can't hear it, but the Gulag can hear it. This is my favorite tune. This is the tune which reminds me to just wait. Just waiting. Waiting for what? Waiting for a sign from CPI. Maybe we'll try to do something on gold with CPI. Maybe we'll try to do some, pendings on CPI. Sing to us, Raja, so we can hear it. I can't sing, it's instrumental. Is it a bad idea as a new trader to pick an indices as my main pair? I personally think that to successfully trade in indices, you need to know a lot more information than you need to, when you're trading a currency pair. Yeah, so my advice would be to maybe start with a currency pair, like, Euro JPY is pretty good. Like this morning we saw clean moves happen on Euro JPY. We went straight bullish. USD JPY is really good. USD JPY has low volume. It doesn't move as much. It's not as violent as, like GJ. Like Euro JPY is like a nice mix between GJ and UJ. Let's put it that way. Indices are not pairs. Yeah, exactly. Is it a bad idea as a new trader to pick an indices as an pair? Already answered that. Whenever I'm here with the Gulag crew, I always see blues. But when I'm alone, it's bad. I should be here more often. Yeah, see, that's the plan now. That's the plan. You trade with the gang, you're good. You stay profitable. But when you trade alone, you're not profitable. Like yesterday, I tried to trade without you guys in the Asian session and I lost the trade. Come on. And now I'm here with you guys, and this morning we won a trade together.
That's good. I like that one.
The Gulag gang.
Now there's going to be, you can only win trades if you're on the live stream. That's the new sales tactic.
Yeah, you want to win trades? This is the live stream to win trades.
Yeah, only show up on the live stream. If you don't show up on the live stream, you can't win.
You should host agent session. No, man, I'm busy in the evenings time.
You trade live. I just discovered this channel. Would love to listen to you explain charts and analysis more. Well, what you can do is this stream has been going on for 2 years. It'll be 2 years next month, right?
Yeah, 2 years next month.
2 years next month on YouTube. You can actually go and watch all the replays like it's your favorite TV show. So you can sit here and binge watch all the episodes and all the videos of the live stream. And there's a lot of analysis. There was a lot of live trades taken. This is your favorite television show that comes on every day, and you can watch the replay as much as you want. And you'll find that you'll learn a lot instead of just asking random questions. I think anyone who's new should go back and watch the evolution of these streams as well, because things have changed. We've gotten better. We've made better decisions. Everything has gotten better over the last few years. So you can see where we came from, and then you can look at where you're going, and you can say, hey, these guys 2 years ago weren't as good as they were right now. And we'll say, yep, because it just took a little bit of practice.
Yeah, that's what the part about random questions is also pretty true. Just complete random ass questions sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this makes sense here. Betola, Koboku. Yeah, it makes sense for it to go bullish, and we are. I think this pullback was a little bit unnecessary here on part of GJ. It wasn't necessary for it to pull all the way this down and then go up. But it is what it is. Oh, look at that push. I think we should continue up to like 640 now. Oh, man, when it starts galloping like this, wow, look at that galloping. Beautiful trade. Got this move up with the NY Open. Wish I would have done this instead of that pullback. Took out my runner at BE. Yeah, the way how I got it was that 134.500 kept stop right here, 10 pip stop with almost like a 10 pip gain. Would you prefer MT4, MT5? MT5. MT5. Man, this commentary on GJ has been amazing today. 1 hour continues to make higher highs, higher lows. This pullback was the only problem here. This pullback. Secured another 10 pips after stop my runner with another runner. Thank you for the teaching me the basics of how to scam, Raja. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Why do you get more drawdown when you go the opposite of your position? Because you start the position in a drawdown, so it goes into a higher drawdown when it goes against you. What's US30 about to do? US30 is about to break again. We got news coming in here soon. So this was the push that we talk about of the NY Open push, right? This was the NY Open push that we talk about all the time. It happened yesterday, it happened today again. I mean, just beautiful. I know some people are holding their buys still. They're still holding their buys. I had a re-entry when this candle pulled back down. So I think this was a pretty good, perfect day today. What is plus point of using MT5? MT5 is amazing, man. It's the latest. That's the plus point of MT5. How did you get the name Wicks Don't Lie? Because Shakira's hips don't lie, so Wicks don't lie. You know, whenever there are wicks, wicks get filled, and kept missing the opportunity to get in on the buy today. Yeah, I think that's good. If you look at the market structure right now, I think the market structure printed some really, really, really good opportunities. One really good opportunity you had when we took buys was once this was the one out that broke the high over here. That's where the first opportunity was. Second opportunity was, I think it was right over here. This is where I had my runner. And the third opportunity was right over here. And remember when we were talking about like if you enter right here, your stop is going to be around 15 pips, right? So if you're looking for 10, once price came down to 134,500, this is where I took my third entry, like a second chance I gave to my buys. So now at this point, my stop was 10 pips instead of 15 pips. And then it moved up to around 134, 620, 610, and that's where it closed. So that was another third entry. So if you missed these moves, this is what you should do to kind of maybe make sense of it. Because sometimes when price is moving, you're kind of hesitating, but that's okay because you're maybe not that confident. So then you have to explain it to yourself that okay, how would this have made sense? What would this pullback? What could I have done in this pullback? I knew it would go up, but if I would have taken an entry, my stop was too big. Then you're saying, okay, well, what if I entered in this pullback? What about my stop loss at that time? So when sometimes these pullbacks, they don't happen, then you have no entries. But if the pullbacks do happen, then you're like, okay, you know what, maybe if I could have entered here, my stop would have been 10 pips and I could have had a nice trade. I've seen these things happen all the time, and all the time I say, oh, what if I could have entered over here? I think my stop would have been a smaller stop, and I could have risked within my limits. I'm thinking buys above 644. Do you think it'll be too late at that point? 644. I think that's going to be right at resistance. This is the resistance area you have here, which price is tapping into. So I think it'll be right at resistance.
I closed. I closed right right at the tip. I'm gonna be out for today already. So.
Oh, nice. Thank you for showing up.
Bye.
Are you taking any more trades? No. May attempt a pending order on gold. Do you think your JPY will continue bearish? Bearish? It's continuing bullish. What time frame are we looking at to see it continuing bearish? What's going on over here? Is this the opposite day today? Yeah, I don't know, man.
They should make like a question before you can enter the trade or the chat on YouTube, like a skill testing question, do the math question, so that if they can't complete a math question, then they're not allowed to come in there. I think there has to be some way to implement that.
Yeah, like a test question. You answer this, you enter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a perfect example of a completely random question.
No, it would be good, or even a question related to trading. You get a chart, or you get a question what does this mean? And then it's a multiple choice, and if you get it wrong, you can't come back. So you get one shot at answering the question.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna continue. I mean, it's just consolidating here and trying to go bullish from what I can see. Ooh, someone made $600 today. Let's take a look at this Chinese indicator. Well, pound did go up, It moved up a little bit. What's this? Holding a sell on GJ from 135,259. Okay, let's take a look here. 135,259. Okay. I think it will push down longer term, struggling to push up on larger time frames. Okay, well, Jordan Marshall, I hope you have a stop loss because having a stop loss is gonna save you a lot of trouble. Any sites you recommend to learn from about currency? Yes, babypips.com. This we go. Start learning. It's free. Free to learn. Babypips.com.
I'm
This is
always
where
confused. What are people trying? Like, what's the? I guess what's their overall goal? Like, why do people say like, where's the advanced courses? Where do I start learning? Like, what like do they think this is just like a university class where after 6 weeks now you become a trader and you've passed, or a history class? There's no one source that's going to help you. You should be on studying everything. It's just really weird. People just want this like cookie cutter answer all the time.
Yeah, it's like I was talking to somebody yesterday, and we were talking about these things, and we came to a conclusion that Baby Pips is like your basic education, and then
Yeah.
once you join like a course, that's like you're trying to do a PhD.
Yeah, it's just really weird. I've never once turned around and said I've learned everything I could about FX and now I'm just gonna sit and just trade for the rest of my life. Like there's always something for you to learn, and it's an evolution as you're trading. But it just seems like people think that if they take a course or they review material that that's all they need and now they can just click buttons all day.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
Yeah, it's just really interesting. Like it's I don't know. I guess we've been trained in school to be like, okay, once you pass your course this semester, you move to the next course next semester. And I think a lot of people have not experienced life in terms of like when you have a job or your career or sort of what you're doing in your future. Like there's no set timeline or set rule. You just go off and do. Like the idea is like there's no one at your job telling you, okay, after next week now you're going to be promoted. It's like you get promoted based on the work that you do, and it can happen at any time. I mean, you have like there's no course, there's no roadmap. You just do. Um, it's just really weird. I don't know. I never thought about trading as a course where if I take this course or I learn this aspect, I'm done and now I can do something. It was more of I can keep building on what I'm learning and ask questions on the information that I've been presented and build from there. Like I mean, every day I learn something new about trading. I make a note or I'll write it down or I'll keep it inside my head. I've never once said that I did everything I needed to do and now I'm a confident trader. It's like, no, I know enough to get by and I keep learning more every day to increase my skill set. Like it's not something that you ever stop learning. You just keep learning.
Yeah, that's true because since the last 3 4 months, I've really been focusing on how to keep like my losses small. So there's been like constant learning happening in that domain. Every time I come to a shop, I'm like, okay, how can I improve just one thing slowly over time? Like the first thing is, you struggle with execution. Like you can have, no, the first thing is you can't get like a right direction. You get the right direction, but then you can't execute. And then once you can't execute, after that comes, okay, now you're executing, but you're not securing profits. And then you learn that, and then you learn how to reduce your losses, and then you learn that. And I think there's just not this one thing that you can say, okay, I've done this, so now I know everything. Like this one guy we had, Wyckoff guy, he's like, I know everything. And now he's gone, like he just died. So just, I think it's a constant learning, and people really, sometimes, when people are watching webinars, they come to me and they say, okay, what should I watch next? I'm like, it's not about that. Like what you learned now, I think you need to now maybe put it to the test on the charts. Maybe it's going to take you 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then you're going to find out that, okay, these things are working and these things are maybe not working. Maybe I want to look into this specific thing now. If your JPY drop, your USD drop, bro. No, I don't think so, because if Euro USD drops, that means the USD news is going to be good. That's why it's going to drop. That's not going to necessarily move your JPY down as well with the same volume, because your JPY is only influenced by the euro. Oh, before people get, butthurt about me talking about Wyckoff, it was just meant towards this one person who said that Wyckoff is the only way you can trade. Like, I'm not saying Wyckoff I mean, you can trade off of any method you want if you just focus on it, but just by saying that this is the best method and your method sucks, I think that's wrong. Man, we need to have disclaimers now before people get offended.
I can't believe how offended people get it to begin with. Like, honestly, it's a free stream. I can sit here and say whatever I want. If you don't like it, just turn it off. Go watch TV. Like, no. Go watch cartoons. No. They're not offensive. You can watch Tom and Jerry. Complain that the cat always tries to catch the mouse and he can't do it. Like, I don't know.
How come the cat is always struggling?
Yeah, exactly. I just have a good laugh when people get offended by things that are said. And it's like, I could never get offended by what some random person is talking about, especially if it's not directed at me. Like, if I'm just making commentary, or like, say you're making commentary, I would not be offended in the least. I'd just be like, I don't agree. I don't care. Like, next.
Yeah, we got news coming in 8 minutes. Fireworks incoming in 8 minutes. 8 minutes. It's going to be fun if they also release the earnings reports too at that time. All right, took my trades based on the retest in 15 minutes. Let's take a look at this chart. This is, oh, nice, okay. Entry after break, retest, close my trade, just as price retest, okay. Beautiful, looks good. This entry I had at like 134.500, it was based on the webinar we did this weekend. I think it was pretty cool. What's this? Lower high, key level bearish rejection here, signals possible lower high to continue down. If price breaks above, wait for retest, descend valid. Yeah, makes sense. This makes perfect sense. If we get rejections from this area, I think we should continue moving down. But if we break above it, then yeah, we can continue moving bullish, maybe up till 134.780. It's not a big enough range either. It's like 14, 15 pips. You learn best while trading. Yeah, course could show the path, but you can only learn by trading. Yes, that's true. How to choose the best leverage? Basically, if you want to choose leverage, the higher the leverage, the more you can put at risk. Let's put it that way. I'm going to give a very objective answer. It's going to be get like 400 to 1, 200 to 1. It's pretty good, pretty safe. I think if you get 200 to 1, you won't be able to risk a lot at one time. So I think that's going to be good, because in the start, the mistake I made was I started with the higher leverage. So high leverage meant I could go in a much deeper drawdown with that before the broker cuts me off. So if you have a lower leverage, then your account won't go in that deep drawdowns. Because then you would need more margin to trade, and that's good. I think people have to keep learning to get better and better, because there's always new mistakes and development for everybody. Yes, that's true. That's true. I consider myself as like an athlete, and whenever an athlete trains, an athlete never says I'm the best. the athlete is always improving in like small aspects of their training or their regime, something like that. Like they're always improving. When I'm coming to the charts, I'm always looking to improve. I'm looking to improve my second entries, my third entries. I'm looking forward to improve my risk, looking to see how I can reduce my risk, how can I make it better, how can I increase my lot sizes and keeping my risk like lower. There's always learning happening with respects to price action as well, because every trade happens is completely independent and different from the previous trade. But that's the most scary thing. What's the scariest thing is coming to the chart and aiming to see the same thing happening. That's the scariest idea, that hey, you know what, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to try to see the same thing that happened yesterday, and miraculously it happens. Sometimes we kind of like think it's going to happen because we don't want to miss a trade, but most times it does happen if you just wait a little bit longer. Because if you look at gold, and if you go to the 5-minute time frame on gold, man, on the 5-minute you can just say that, oh yeah, we're breaking below here, we should continue moving down. That's on the 5-minute chart. But most times the 5-minute is a weak confirmation time frame. Doesn't always happen. So that's why you have to wait for the higher time frames to show you the light. The high time frames will show you the light. You just gotta wait, because if you don't wait, you miss moves, you take early entries, and it's just super bad. But leverage can mess up your account as well if you don't learn enough, right? Leverage can't mess up your account. The only one who can mess up your account is you. You are the only one who can mess up your account. You're gonna overtrade, you're gonna over risk, and you're gonna over leverage and just fuck things up. So you gotta relax, man. You gotta take a chill pill. Chill pill. We got 5 minutes left for CPI coming on right now. Are you under pressure with the viewers, or do they help you stay disciplined? Or I think as the viewership is increasing, this is a huge responsibility on myself to, practice what I preach, to lead by example. And the best way for me to lead by example is to not give out high risk trades, because there are new traders here watching as well. Only show low risk positions, or the trades I take. Maintain a level of lowering the risk, because every time you come on the stream, the one thing you're gonna hear me say all the time is, okay, just thinking about the downside, making sure the downside is low, or don't overtrade, don't over risk. These are the only things you're gonna see me repeat over and over and over again. And I think that's the only way you can really keep your account safe, if you don't overtrade. I mean, I have a lot of people who say, hey man, I'm having a bad time. You're having a bad time because you're overtrading.
Yeah. You're over risking, you're over trading, you're putting pressure on yourself to succeed because you think this is the only thing that you're going to do with your life. And that's basically it. I can tell you right now, anyone who's losing tons of money in the market is doing one of three things: over risking, over trading, or applying pressure to themselves, thinking that if they don't get trading, they're not going to be successful in life. That's the only three reasons why you're losing money in trading. That's it. It's as plain as day. That's all it is. You can sit and try and argue your points to me and say, well, it's because of this and this. It's not. It's because deep down inside, if you don't become successful at trading, you feel that your life is a failure because you put so much pressure on yourself, because this is an easy way to make money. I can sit at home, I have freedom, I can trade on my phone, I can do this, I can do that. You've put so much pressure on yourself to succeed at this, and now that you're not, you're chasing and chasing and chasing money every day. I see it every day, and it's the age group between 20 and 30. That's the predominant age group. They're all doing the exact same thing. I can sit here and I could be like the god of trading, like looking at planet Earth of all the Earth traders, and I see the exact same thing. People posting charts, oh, I over risked today, oh, I over leveraged, or they're posting their wins because they need to feel comfortable that they made money today or whatever they're doing. It's the same rhetoric over and over and over again, and it's sickening because half the people posting stuff don't even know what they're talking about. Half the people that are trading are over trading, and they're basically risk to ruin is coming. It's 100% is 100%. It is. You're not gonna. You know what? You can create that meme. Tell me that those three principles don't apply, and make me change my mind because it's not gonna happen. It's. I guarantee you, if you had a part-time job, you took one trade a day or two trades a day, you were just happy to have the opportunity to trade, didn't put pressure on yourself to make money, we're just trying to, make some extra side cash. I guarantee you would love trading. Trading would be easy. You'd be happy. Hey, this week I made 20 bucks. Last week I made 10. Next week I make 50. I guarantee you feel so much better about yourself. It's remarkable what you do when you don't have to rely on money or a source of income from trading. The pressure is gone.
Yeah, that's true. The pressure is gone. Like once you're not really focused on it.
Yeah.
Ooh, US30 dropped.
Yep.
What was the new top?
Little bounce. See, here's a perfect example of a question. BG Torres 100. My family makes fun of me when I make $10 a week. Why do you even tell your family what you're making?
Man, your family has no business knowing what you do, just like
That's
any
right.
other person.
Yeah.
Like you ask my mom, like, what do I do? She's like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah. My family doesn't even understand what I do. They don't know. I would never tell them either. There's no benefit to talk to anybody who's not a trader about trading. Try having a conversation with somebody that doesn't understand trading. I did that the other night. It's like you're speaking like a different language because they want to understand and they like it and they're trying to be accommodating to your conversation, but they're just like, yeah, I just don't understand what you're doing. That's okay though, whatever. And you're trying your best to explain it in layman's terms, like, well, if the Canadian economy goes up, then the Canadian dollar goes up, and they're like, yeah, I don't care.
All right, true.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the worst thing you can say to somebody. True.
Yeah.
Wow, look at this, man. Super good news and super bullish gold. Like the news was way beyond expected. It was like a 0.6 above expected. It's 0.6, expected 0.5. I was on the very edge of putting like a buy stop above the 30-minute high.
I thought about that too, but then I was watching US30 drop, and I was like, oh man, I pretty much gold's gone off then. But US30 is stuck in that range, right? Once it breaks above 26,235, I think you'll have a nice move, but it's bouncing off that like the 200 area. So
Yeah, this is a nice area here.
yeah.
Do you think it was priced in the news? No, I don't think so. If the news was priced in, then gold should have been dropping. Wow, look at that, man. Damn. Something wrong over here. Why isn't this thing charging? Here we go. Yeah, GJ is just ranging right now. GJ is done. There's nothing to do or say on GJ. Did Euro USD move up? I think Euro USD moved up, right? I think GP USD. Oh, GP USD moved up a little bit.
Yeah, Euro USD moved a bit.
Why don't you have the mini level in that range on gold? Showed the buy perfectly. This mini level. Oh yeah, I kind of like saw it. But it didn't show the buy perfectly because you had resistance right over here.
It's easy to say not to focus on money when you got it, Ted. Well, Afren, Doom, Boya, I think it's important to realize that there are multiple ways to make money, and a lot of people choose not to do certain things because they believe they are above those ideas. A lot of people believe that they can't go to school because they have no money to go to school. Meanwhile, they don't want to take a part time job and work 20 or 30 hours a week to pay for school. Um, I think when I was going to school, when I was in high school, I was working 40 hours a week in high school. I had a part time job and it was basically a full time job for me. I was able to work every night from 5:30 till like 9:30, 10 o'clock every day. And on Saturday and Sunday, I worked 8 hours. It's just, that's what life was. I think trying to define why you don't have something, I think a lot of people just don't want to do something, or they're not putting themselves in a position. I can't find a job. Well, you're not looking. Well, yeah, I am, Ted. I'm looking. Well, why don't you go somewhere where you want to work and just walk up to them and say, hey, what is there something I can do to learn here? Because I want to actually do something with my life. And you'd be surprised. They may not give you the job, but they might point you in a direction of where you could get a job. And they might be able to help you out. A lot of people just don't assert themselves. They don't actually take any initiative. They just want things to be dropped on their lap. You can go on LinkedIn and you can spend the next 3 hours on LinkedIn just DMing people in different positions that, I'm looking for a job. This is my resume. I'm looking for internship. I'm looking to volunteer. Is there anything available? Can you point me in the right direction? I looked at your LinkedIn, your LinkedIn profile. It seems like, you're very well versed in subjects that I want to learn. This is what I have to offer. Like, you can really apply yourself, and there's so much opportunity out there. It's just people are afraid. You'd be surprised. Successful people will always try and give you advice. They may not be able to give you money, they may not be able to give you a job, but they'll always point you in the right direction because there's nothing for them to lose to help you. And I think if you get that out of your head, that all you have to do is just go out and just speak to people, network and talk with people, you'd be surprised how much opportunity is out there if you actually just applied yourself, instead of sitting behind a computer feeling sorry for yourself that you don't have money, you don't have a job, you don't have this. It's like, go out and take initiative. You're going to feel better about yourself because you know what, you're going to look back on your journey, you're going to be like, man, there was this guy on YouTube who was just talking to me and I was really pissed off at him because he was an idiot. But then I just went off and I did something and I actually got somewhere. And then I look back and it's like, wow, that guy was right. Like, it didn't work out exactly the way he said, but I just used some of that information and I just tried to apply myself and I actually got to where I needed to be. And there's a lot of opportunity there. And like I said, maybe trading's not for you, but maybe the principles of trading, the discipline, the routine, the ideas, the practice, maybe that helps you in another aspect of a job or a career. Maybe you're able to apply those principles to something else. Maybe you can apply those principles to networking with people, understanding what kind of questions to ask, being routine, being able to message 100 people today and just reach out to them and see what responses you get, figuring out what good responses are, what are bad responses, who's actually going to respond to you. Like, there's so many ways to apply yourself. Don't limit your beliefs or your thoughts just because you're trading FX. Like, don't hurt yourself that way. It's the biggest thing that you can do is say, well, this is my career. I'm going to be an FX trader. Maybe you don't become an FX trader. Maybe you run a restaurant 2 years down the road and you just take the same approach of running a restaurant that you did with FX, and you're like, hey, I don't want to do this and this and this. This is how I want to apply it. There's so many opportunities out for you to do things. Don't limit yourself, and don't believe that nobody's out there to help you. That's the other thing too. Don't ever think that you're alone, or nobody's going to be there for you, or woe is me, and life's hard. Go out and apply yourself. Just just randomly email people. You can talk to so many people. There's message boards, there's forums, there's, you know, different group chats. Just say, hey, listen, like I just need direction. I need some help. Like be open and be honest with people. You'd be surprised what you get. Stop thinking that the world is out to get you and start applying yourself, and you'll see a lot of bigger improvement. And that's between the ages of 20 and 30. Do the same thing again.
Oh, looks like GJ is moving with the trend right now. No entries.
Everything is dropping.
Your GPY is dropping solid. Went to take the garbage out. Missed the trade. Yeah. Yeah, that has happened to me too. You know, every time I take the garbage out at this time, I miss a trade. So I'm gonna take the garbage out in maybe like in an hour, because the trucks here come at like 10. You know, it's like 8:30 right now. It's Tuesday. I think we have a recycling day today. The blue and the green bins are going out. Hey, what game is this? So many people is watching. This is Guess the Candle. Guess where the candle's gonna go. Man, we have some good moves. I think gold buy stop would have really worked. I was thinking at around like 1801.27, just above the high. Very nice, very nice. Maybe next time. Maybe next time we're gonna get it. No problem, no problem. Next time we'll get it in it, mate. Yes, we were right about your JPY being bearish. Yes, you were right about your JPY moving bearish.
Oh dear.
Competitive game even has a gulag. What a great day in the market. Thanks, directly. Can't wait to receive my magic keys. For some reason, the magic keys packages from Australia, they 3 of them came back to me today. And the reason was written hazardous material. I have it right here. It was written hazardous material, and it says that the package has batteries in it. There's no batteries in it, man. It's like a calculator. Man, I don't know what's going on over there, but all these packages are coming back from Australia. Dangerous goods. Batteries. So we're gonna try again. I busy myself with other activities during the day and have a schedule for trading. Nice. I think that's the best thing you can do. That's the best thing you can do. Have like a routine for everything, you know, like things you do. I have a routine for everything, you know, the analysis, the communications in Slack, with trading, with working out, and every day I make sure that I do every routine better than the previous day. You know, sometimes the efforts are like break even, you know, it's like kind of like the same effort, but overall I try to do it like the best than the previous time. So my routine is trying to get like better and better and stronger. When I start drawing support resistance from high time frame to lower time frame, I end up drawing too many and it's confusing. Any tip? Yes, don't draw too many. Maybe just draw 4. Mate, you should see our border security over here, no surprise. Yeah, it's pretty tough. Like, I'm not sure how they scanned a battery in this thing. There's no batteries in these.
He looked at your name and said Raja Banks. They're like, yeah, this guy's not sending anything to us.
It's so nuts. Like, it doesn't even say my name on it. It's like another shell company we use. It's some other random name, you know, and it says batteries. Yeah, Australia's having a hard time. Um, oh, the best way
Raja,
to
I'm
yo.
sorry, buddy. What's your view on GJ for the 4 hour? Because
For
I
four
mean,
hour.
yeah, the 4 hour. I still believe we're gonna continue bearish with the next 4 hour candle.
See, I look at this and then I say, ay, ay, ya, mamma mia, I don't know.
Oh man, come on.
Yeah, amigo, I don't know, man. I mean, it's got all these rejections here to the left, and I mean, it looks like it's gonna go down, and it's did like kind of like a fake out over here, and it's just too much bullshit happening here, you know, like too many rejections here. So we'll have to,
Okay.
yeah. So I think the best thing to do would be to wait for the 4 hour to close.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, maybe daily can push further down to 134. That's the ultimate target if it goes down.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because problem is I'm driving, so I'm not on my computer. But yeah,
Okay.
I was expecting the last hour of the 4 hour candle should do the work to continue going bearish. But
Yeah.
what's a hell of pullback on GJ, man?
Yeah, that's nasty pullback.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight rejection from that area. So where you driving, man? What's going on?
I'm taking my wife to a clinic.
Oh,
She's
nice,
gonna do
nice.
the DNA test
Oh, nice, nice.
for the resident thing here in the US.
Very
So
nice, very
yeah.
nice. It's a big step.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
man. Thank you. She's listening to you right now.
Yeah.
So she's here.
Hey. Hola,
Oh, by the
hola.
way, she was asking me, when are you coming back?
I don't know. Probably like October, November.
Oh, perfect. That's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, October, November. How can someone drive and check charts? Well, Kervin has a boat. He has a boat, and that boat can do whatever you want.
Yeah, man. This thing has a autopilot, you know. Nah, but that's why I'm asking, because I'm not checking my charts. But yeah, I had a sell on GJ, but man, I closed, and right now I'm seeing this drop again, and I still believe that 4 hours should continue bearish.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see what happens. Let's see how this closes.
Yeah.
Hey, brother Raja, how to develop my own strategy? I think if I was a new trader and this was the first time I was looking at charts, I would know the candles. I would know that the green candles mean up and red candles mean down. I would know this. And then what I would do is I would look at this, I would look at this and I would say, okay, if I only have, I would look at the time at the bottom, right? So if I look at the time at the bottom, it's like 6 a.m. and now it's like, what, 8:30 a.m. So I would look at this and I would say, okay, I have time to trade between this whole area. This is the time where I can potentially take trades. And I would look at this and say, okay, if I'm looking at this, what candle could I have taken a trade on? I would look at that. And then I would say, okay, we had a big candle moving over here, we had some candle moving over here, and then we have a candle moving up over here. Okay, awesome. So then I would try to like see, okay, what was happening here. There was resistance, there was support, and then I'd say, okay, maybe in this area I could have caught this trade. So I would tell myself, okay, well, if price is breaking above, then it's doing some sort of a retest. I could possibly take an entry here, but then this candle came down, so yeah, so okay, this makes sense. And then I'll move on to the next day. The next day, we'll talk about the next day tomorrow. So if you guys are going to be here the next day, we're going to talk about this tomorrow. So that's what I would do. I would say, okay, you know what, this made sense. And then I would just call it a day, and then I'd come back the next day. But if I would stay on the charts, I'd stay on the charts for like 3 more hours or 4 more hours. Man, I have people who watch Monty's stream, then who watch this New York stream, and then they stay on the charts for the next 2-3 more hours. I used to do that, and that was not good. Hey, Raja, if this candle closes bearish below the zone, can we consider it as a fake out? Yeah, I mean, you can consider this as a fake out, but the only problem I had with this fake out was these rejections here, these wick rejections. You know, because these are 1 hour candles rejecting this price. So, I mean, I'm not too sure if the next one does come down, how far will it come down to reject it or go down? You know, so I would say in my eyes, if I want to look for sells, I'd probably look for safer sells below 134, 200. Because these rejections are just like, they're just uncertain. You know, that's an area of uncertainty. Yes, radio. Let's take a look at this chart here. Enter when the price broke the last low. TP and support. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Pretty risky. Makes sense. I've traded bell to bell multiple days many times. Over trading is a myth. Just be good. Well, okay, yeah, you can just do that too then. You can just be good. Um, yes. Your GPY is doing a pullback over here. Wow, look at that. He's playing it safe for us. The goal is not to take the trades, but used understanding. Oh, nice. Made $20 off the $200 deposit. Beautiful. So yeah, I'm gonna be calling it a day in like 10 minutes over here, and because I think it was a pretty good day. Had buys on GJ, played out really well. Let's see what happens in middle school. Oh, oscillators and momentum indicators. Oh man, I did this. Oscillators and momentum indicators. And I used to think about like, so I did additional mathematics in high school, right? So we learned about the sine graphs and the cosine graphs and the tangent graphs. And then you had to make like the cosine graphs, hardest thing in the world. And when I read this oscillators and momentum indicators, that's what I thought. I'm like, oh shit. Now I'm going to be using cosine, like trigonometry. Trigonometry. Yeah, so I'm going to be using that to read these charts. I was like, wow, this is crazy. So I need to learn this. You know, so I went inside and started learning this, and my mind was just so confused. I was like, wow, I wish I paid attention in high school, you know, learning these sine graphs and cosine. Cosine law. Exactly, that's what it was called. The, the cosine law. Wow, that was a long time. Trigonometry. Trigonometry. Man, that was so long ago. School's a scam. If you're not becoming a lawyer, doctor, engineer. I think in schooling you learn a lot of skills. I've learned a lot of social skills in school, university. I mean, if you look at all the, like, you know, most influencers on Instagram, you're gonna see that most of them, they have no social skills. They don't know how to talk to people. They don't know how to approach people, how to act. You know, so I think when you go to school, like, you learn a lot about your, like, you really develop your social structure. So that's pretty good. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. Yeah, exactly. 2 squared C. Hi, I'm a new trader. You have an excellent entry strategy. What's your exit strategy? your your exit strategy is when you get to, like, you know, you get to the amount of pips you want. Basically, you measure the range. You see the range. If you have a big enough range, then you know within this range what can you safely secure. So that's where your exit strategy is. Exit strategy is basically where, like, where you feel content with the trade. So I think if you show up every day, you're going to start to see the exit strategy too. Social skills are not worth 50,000 to 100,000. Yeah, I think some people are very gifted too. I think some people are gifted with social skills. That's why you see, a lot of people who didn't finish school, they do well in life because, I mean, that's not everyone is going to have that same path. Very few people are going to have that path. So I think a lot of times people get lost in trying to find that path. And sometimes, you're not destined to find that path. I find myself opening positions early, as in a trend eventually follows my predicted path, but 50% of the time, I'm an hour too early. How do I time my entries? I think you need to look at the charts and you need to see how could you have taken a perfect entry and then maybe aim for that same entry the next time. Here's the thing, man. Market is going to do the same things over and over again, right? It's going to do the same things over and over again. Now, certain things, when, let's say, now there are, I think, 4 things you should be focusing on. Well, 4 things I focus on. Number 1 thing is when price is breaking a zone without a retest. Number 2 thing, when price is breaking a zone doing a retest. Number 3 thing is when price is doing a fake out. And number 4 thing is trying to enter a impulse entry, right? These four things are going to happen all the time. You're going to get to execute. But the problem is that these 4 things, for you to able to learn these 4 things, you're going to have to do things by 4 factorial. If people don't know what 4 factorial is a scientific mathematical calculation, which is like if you focus on, let's say, when price is breaking the zone without a retest, right? You're going to be watching that happen as it happens over and over again. Maybe it won't, maybe it happens 4 times in a week, maybe it happens 3 times in a week. So do you think watching it happen only 3 times is going to make you perfect that one thing? Probably not. It's going to take a couple more times. So in the same way, you're looking for the second thing in the same way, the third thing and the fourth thing. That's why it's 4 factorial, because you keep watching these different things happen over and over again, and then you're creating these biases. If I would have had an impulse entry when price broke the zone because it didn't do a retest, how many times was this successful? How many times did it work? Same thing for break and retest. How many times price did a retest and it successfully went the opposite way? So those things, you really start looking at it. And if you look at GJ right now, it's coming down, but the only problem I have is this rejection area here. Some people are in cells, that's awesome. That's awesome you're in cells, but that's my part of being cautious about this whole area. How long you been trading? Oh, it's a question for someone else. Let's take a look at this chart. This is, GJ, price breakthrough support entry on break of this candle. Yeah, entry on the break of this candle here. Then your range is 15 pips, okay? Could see something happening, but I'm just very cautious about, these wicks here to the left. Are there times when you secured profits at 20 pips instead of 10? Yes, there have been times. And those times have been when price has decided to just push really hard. Yeah, man. Let's take a look at the pre-market data here. Pre-markets are down now, but they're up by 66 points. Let's check out our Chinese indicator. Chinese indicator is showing weakness in the pound now. You see this weakness in the pound? I think that's what's making it drop, but not really. That's lagging. Now it's showing weakness in the pound and it's showing strength in the yen. So if yen goes up and pound stays down, then I think GG is going to continue going down. GJ is at a 1 hour demand zone, so I'd be cautious about sells until it breaks 134.096. I think sells are going to be good if we break and close below 134.200. I think that's going to be much safer. Yeah, I think that's going to be much safer. You can't entirely say trading is not yours unless you're not self-analyzing and improving. Oh wow, man, there's some discussions happening over there. What does Naveen mean? Naveen is a very good guy, man. I'll try to get Naveen on the as a guest on these live streams. I'll try to see if we can make that happen. We're booked here. This Friday we're having Forex tips on. Next Friday we're having next Friday we're having Nick Sean on. Is that his name? Nick Sean? Let's see here. Yeah, I think that's the name. Nick Sean. And the next Friday we'll see what's happening. Next Friday is going to be pretty interesting. Next Friday, a couple of interesting things are happening. Next Friday, I'm moving. Next Friday, 6ix9ine gets out of house arrest, right? So, there's a pretty life-changing moves happening here now. 6ix9ine is about to start a new chapter in his life as a free man, so we'll see what happens. And then I think on the 7th, we can have Naveen on. Yeah, I think on the 7th. Do you know Forex Tips have fund management company just like FTMO? Yes, and that's part of the reason. That's part of the reason why we're gonna have them on, because I think their model is much more different than FTMO. So I think it's good, because I think this is the new wave now. Like funding companies, even though they're giving opportunities to traders, but I think it's like a great business model to be in and to be around. I mean, you can't stop it. If you can't beat something, you gotta join it, right? But not saying I've joined it, man. People will take this. Damn, man. This is recorded now, and people are gonna take this in all sorts of context. Shit. I think I'm just gonna edit this part. Why you like 6ix9ine? I like 6ix9ine because, man, this guy, he broke all barriers, that's why. I mean, he came from nothing. He finessed his way into like a lot of different gangs and the culture, and then he leveraged that culture to become what he is now. And then all the bad things happened to him while he was in jail. The people betrayed him, and then he came back. He bounced back. He had record-breaking numbers. He did record-breaking numbers from his home, from being on house arrest, man. Imagine that. From being on house arrest, he did record-breaking numbers. No one can deny that. Nobody. No one, man. Not even a single, you can't even say anything. You can't even say anything. Record-breaking numbers on house arrest. Just like me, showing everything I did in March, April, May, June. Now walking in July. 5 months. Yeah, man, everyone's mad because he's back. He broke resistance, did a retest, and he's now going up.
Oh man.
Yeah, he weaseled his way back in. That's exactly what he did, man. He weaseled his way back in, and
He make it out. He make it out of the gulag.
yeah, and only reason why, because he was loud. That's why. Yeah, and yeah, I'm getting pretty hungry over here. I'm gonna go and have some breakfast right now. So
Okay, my brother. Take care. Enjoy.
thank you for showing up, everybody. Appreciate it.
Shukriya.
Take care. Shukriya. And honestly, I don't think anyone should be over trading if you've been here since 6 a.m. or for the last 2 hours, 3 hours. because I'm not gonna look at the charts now till Asian session, or or when I do my analysis in Asian
Écoute, tu le
session.
fais à Fireburn, c'est?
Oh yes, exactly. Hey, what's up,
Non,
man?
c'est pas réglé. C'est pas réglé. Ah, ben, c'est pas. Ah, ben, c'est pas réglé, c'est pas réglé aussi. Moi, j'ai parlé avec un gars qui matin, il se partait en
J'ai parlé français.
anglais. C'est quoi, il s'en allait?
S'il vous plaît.
Un instant, s'il vous plaît. Un instant, s'il vous plaît.
S'il vous plaît, please. Pas manger.
Un instant, s'il vous bonjour. Ah,
Non, mais
tabarnak.
ça, ce qu'ils m'ont dit.
Oh, tabarnak. Oh. Un instant. Alright, we're done.